Plus, you get 2 years no-cost maintenance. Change is coming. Stay ahead with Tundra. Toyota. Let's go places.
The Upper Peninsula's home for the talk, WZMQ 19. Good evening, everyone. I'm Sarah Blakely. Tonight on your WZMQ 19 News, 3 weeks without a speaker, and the U.S. House has finally elected the next to take the gavel. We're live in Washington with reaction to Louisiana Rep. Mike Johnson's win. Plus, how you can weigh in on Marquette School's new nickname and mascot. We'll tell you where to find the public survey. And some job cuts within Billerud worldwide due to a low demand for paper. We'll tell you how it's impacting the company's facilities here in Upper Michigan. Your 19 News starts now.
Live from the UP, this is WZMQ 19 News at 6.
A bit dreary and cool today, and it seemed like the clouds couldn't decide if it wanted to rain or not. So, will it rain tonight?
Yes, but it's probably going to be later on, mostly when we're all asleep. That rain I'll show you when it's pushing in with Futurecast, but we'll expect rainy conditions definitely on our Thursday. We could see some sprinkles continuing on Friday, and then that wintry pattern is upon us. We'll expect that to start this weekend and especially next week with some possible snow showers. Colder air and temperatures this weekend as well. We could see lows in the 20s. Today, though, we saw a high of 48 out at the National Weather Service. I've got your 7-day outlooks and Futurecast after the break.
Thank you very much, Ariane. Developing now, the U.S. House of Representatives is finally back in order after rallying around a new speaker this afternoon. Louisiana Representative Mike Johnson received enough support from House Republicans to win the gavel. WZMQ's Washington, D.C. correspondents Brendan Scanlon and Rachel Knapp are live on Capitol Hill for us this evening. Brendan and Rachel, what are members saying about this?
Hey there, Sarah. Good evening. Yeah, it's a big sigh of relief. There's a big sense of unity here, especially among House Republicans. Now that there is a new speaker, they are finally relieved that this speaker drama is over. Again, 22 days, 4 different candidates, 4 rounds of voting, Rachel, and we now finally have a new speaker of the House. And it's Louisiana's Mike Johnson.
Yeah, that's right, Brendan. And in this nominating speeches, Republicans were saying that Johnson's able to work with everyone and then also unite the conference. But Democrats in their nominating speeches today, they were really pulling him apart. They were saying that he is one of many members who voted to decertify the 2020 election results. And they were also talking about how he served on former President Trump's impeachment defense team. Now, Johnson is a 4-term congressman, so compared to other members of Congress, he really hasn't had that much time here at the Capitol. And so we spoke with some members of Congress about Johnson's election.
We're getting back to work for the American people. It feels good, and it feels good to be united once again.
America wants some new faces. America wants some new energy, perhaps some new ideas. And he's got enough time here, but not the baggage.
Brendan, I think you could agree with me when I say this. It almost feels like the chaos in the House is finally coming to a close. We know that many Republicans are feeling that huge wave of relief, like you just mentioned, especially because they were finally able to unite behind a member when they were having a hard time doing so with Steve Scalise, Jim Jordan, and Tom Emmer.
Yeah, it's been a very, very difficult task leading up to this point. So as you said, Rachel, a lot of excitement and unity, as we mentioned earlier, in that Republican House conference now, again, around Mike Johnson. Members tell us today they're excited they can get back to the people's work dealing with issues. They told us a couple of different things. Inflation, growing local economies, growing small businesses, and border security. Those were some of the big things that they were really talking about earlier this afternoon. However, their first order of business today, once they got the House in order, was to condemn the attacks, Hamas attacks on Israel, and really show their support for Israel during such a crazy time over there. So, Sarah, much more to come from here in Washington. We'll send it back to you.
All right, Rachel and Brendan, thank you very much. In Lansing, legislators are hearing testimony on bills that aim to create more financial transparency from public officials. The bill package is a bipartisan effort that saw a hearing this morning in the Senate Oversight Committee. Proposal 1, passed last November, called for legislation to require financial disclosure from state officials. This bill package was introduced to address that and includes 4 bills sponsored by both Democratic and Republican senators, including UP Senator Ed McBroom.
So the bills themselves really focus in on the requirements of the constitutional amendment, that we disclose potential conflicts of other bodies or entities that we participate with. And that way, when issues come forward, it's very clear to the voters and all of our colleagues, what potential conflicts do you have on this vote?
Coming up tonight at 11:10 Central, we'll have more from proponents of the bill who say this package is just the beginning of long-anticipated reform. The Marquette Area Public School Board is seeking the public's suggestions for the district's new nickname and mascot. On Monday, the school board launched a website taking name suggestions to replace the former Redmen and Redettes. So far, the website has received over 1,000 suggestions from members of the community. According to the board, community members are limited to 1 entry on the website, and Redmen and Redettes will not be accepted, but people can include as many name suggestions as they want.
The board will make the ultimate decision as to what our new nickname is, but we're trying to get as much community input as possible because the board can't make this decision in a vacuum, so we need our input from our community.
The website is open now through November 17th. A link to that survey can be found at WZMQ19.com. We're learning new details tonight about the low demand for paper reported earlier this month at the Billerud Mill in Escanaba. Our Escanaba Bureau reporter Lily Simmons tells us what the company's administrators are saying about the decrease and what it means for jobs at Billerud's headquarters overseas and here at home.
The first week of October, the Billerud paper mill was idled for annual maintenance. However, a second week was added to the idle to balance production with customer needs due to customer inventory destocking and low demand for paper. According to Billerud's CFO, net sales of paper in North America decreased 24% from last year.
We're pleased with the volume growth in North America, which was 7% in line with what we saw in Europe. But also here, the demand remained weak during the quarter, and we definitely saw continued effect from destocking.
While he says destocking is largely expected to be completed by the end of the year, the company is making changes as it looks ahead to 2024. To improve efficiency and competitiveness, Billerud is reducing its overall workforce by as many as 350 positions, affecting corporate operations, Europe, and North America.
We expect a reduction to yield annualized saving of 300 million, and it's never been a light hard. We reached this decision and of this magnitude, but it's our belief that it's needed for Billerud to continue to be well positioned going forward.
As a result of changes in the economy, Billerud has also delayed its project to transform mills here in North America.
We are looking at different alternatives, how we can optimize both Escanaba and Quinnesec mill in the best way possible. How can that be done in a clever way and in creative manners? What are absolute necessities to be done in terms of the infrastructure makeup in the mill? It means certainly working closely with the suppliers in this case to get the engineering studied in a good way.
As employees await news on the workforce reduction, Billerud CEO says the company will soon be contacting unions to begin negotiations. Lily Simmons, WZMQ 19 News, Escanaba.
Your first warning weather forecast is coming up after this break. Plus, that's what Carl says. Mr. Bonac is here to tell us about the greatest late season warm spell in the UP to put this mild fall into perspective. And later, a Halloween weekend event returns in Iron Mountain this Saturday. What families can do during the pumpkin walk and what's new this year. We're back.
19 News is brought to you by Dan Perkins Construction.
When you put on a product this nice, you want to sing it from the rooftops. You know my roof's good looking, will last the rest of your life. Each day I go to work thinking, you know we're doing this right. Buy a roof for me and I think you'll see you'll be happy as a gherkin. 'Cause we do it right and we're really polite. Take it from me, Dan Perkins. You try rhyming something with Perkins.
Buckles Party Store, it's where the party starts in Calumet, with an awesome beer selection featuring domestic, foreign, and craft brewed beer, a great selection of wine, just about any kind of liquor you want, and a great range of tobacco products. Buckles Party Store in Calumet, it's where the party starts for everyone.
Part of the magic of Survivor is that all of these different isolated worlds collide together like marbles, and that's really exciting.
Part of the design of the new era is to constantly make you check and assess and adapt all the time.
Man, this is tough.
It is. Time to vote.
The Emmy-nominated series Survivor, new tonight on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
Some seem to think that quality is a thing of the past. At Simple Treasures in Iron Mountain, you'll find they carry respected name brands like Uttermost Home Decor, Carroll Fabrics, and Custom Draperies. And for the perfect gift, they carry Pendleton hats, shirts, and sweaters for men and women, as well as a beautiful assortment of Pendleton blankets. Discover your Simple Treasure today. Visit Simple Treasures of Iron Mountain for home decor, gifts, and draperies. 426 South Stevenson Avenue.
I'm Nora O'Donnell, and this is the new home for CBS News in the Upper Peninsula. We'll be looking for you right here on WZMQ 19.
Now, WZMQ 19 News First Warning Weather with Ariane Stasek.
Our winds are currently coming out of the north. We've got some cooler temperatures as well on the way. As you can see, a little bit breezy here along the northern coast in Marquette and Alger counties. Right now, those temperatures about 45 to 55 degrees. Will hang there for just a little bit, but our lows this evening are looking mostly in the 40-degree range with chances of showers mostly overnight. I will show you that in just a moment. Sit tight. We've got rainy chances into our Friday. That fog, we'll expect that this evening, tomorrow, and tomorrow night as well. And those temperatures tomorrow evening still in that 40-degree range, but expect things to get very chilly coming up on Friday after Friday night. As you can see, some snow further west of us. We will see that very soon, friends. Okay, taking a look at the past couple of hours, a sprinkle here or there, and then we've got some cloud coverage. As we take a look at the current conditions with the radar, it's seeming to be fairly dry. Now take a look here, cloud coverage this evening into our morning. As you can see, those showers starting to push in around 2-3 a.m. on the west portion of the UP. Maybe getting a little bit dicey over here in South Houghton County with some possible heavy rains pushing in for everybody. We'll see most heavy accumulation down here on the Lake Michigan coastline. I'll show you that in just a minute, but those showers continuing into our Thursday evening, even later on, especially over in the east, and then another round coming on Friday morning around 9 a.m. until 11 a.m., especially in the west half of the UP. The southern half staying a little bit dry, and then we'll expect partly to mostly cloudy skies on that Friday night. So rain starting to push in around 3 a.m. on Thursday morning. We'll expect around 9 a.m. The west half of the UP may be seeing some accumulation there on the roads, just a heads up. And then by 3 p.m. even heavier accumulation up to almost an inch there in Lawrence. And then by 9 p.m. most of the UP will see some possibly slick conditions out there. So make sure you give yourself some time. Taking a look at Thursday's forecast for your school day or your work day or just your Thursday. Midday, we'll expect the temperatures just below 50, maybe a little bit above that. And then, of course, chances of showers. And then we've got trick-or-treating here on Saturday in downtown Marquette. I'll be there, Sarah will be there, and the rest of our crew. Temps about 40 degrees, so it should be a little bit brisk out there. 7-day outlook for Marquette. Take a look here. I know we're all waiting for it. Those snowflakes could start flying on Sunday.
Thank you very much, Ariane. Our 19 News Insights.
Would you like to save money on your healthcare costs? Do you receive Medicare? If so, there is a free program provided by UPCAP, Superior Alliance for Independent Living, and the Upper Peninsula Aging and Disability Resource Center that may be able to help. They are simply here to guide you through the Medicare process and to help you get the Medicare benefits you are entitled to receive. Their trained professionals are ready to help you save money on healthcare. If you have Medicare, simply dial 211 for assistance.
Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Add beautiful color to your projects with Minwax oil-based wood finish. This penetrating formula delivers oil-rich color in one single coat and dries in just 2 hours. Get a quart for only $10.99 after rebate. Protect your projects with a top coat finish. Fast-drying polyurethane provides long-lasting protection for all types of wood surfaces. Right now, pick up a quart for just $12.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Tonight, the UN joins other countries in calling for a humanitarian ceasefire in Gaza. Then, his mother is among hundreds of Americans trapped in Gaza. What's the U.S. doing to get them out? And Hurricane Otis roars to a Category 5, where it's headed next on the CBS Evening News.
We are united, everybody's invited. We are united, everybody. Come on, come on.
The United Way of Marquette County, kicking off its 80th year. United Way volunteers support our community, and you can help the United Way assist 26 local programs, funding nonprofit organizations focused on safety, unity, and endowment. Donate today by visiting uwmqt.org. A public service message from the United Way and WZMQ 19.
What do you say we get on out of here? I don't care where we go, if it's as far as we can get.
Wagon Train, weekdays at 4 on MeTV 19.1. You're watching the award-winning WZMQ 19 News, live and local with Sarah Blakely.
November is Epilepsy Awareness Month. 1 in 26 people will develop epilepsy in their lifetime, and about 109,000 Michiganders live with the condition. Northern Michigan University is implementing some new training for faculty and staff in the event of an emergency. Joining us tonight is NMU student and Epilepsy Foundation Awareness Advocate Liz Preston. Thanks for coming in, Liz.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Good. So, you know, when I heard that statistic that 109,000 Michiganders have this, that's 10% of the state live with epilepsy. Tell us a little bit about what epilepsy is and what kind of falls under that umbrella.
Yeah, so like you said, it's so much more common than people realize, and often people don't share about it because they're a little nervous about the stigma out there, that there is definitely a stigma behind it. So epilepsy is defined usually as when someone has two or more seizures that are unprovoked. And yeah, it's the 4th most common neurological disorder out there. Like you said, it's much more common than people can realize.
Yeah, and you're an awareness advocate with the Epilepsy Foundation. Tell us about what that is and what your role is and why you're passionate about this.
Yeah, of course. So I have epilepsy myself. I was diagnosed when I was 14, and then I discovered the Epilepsy Foundation when I was 16. And that really made a difference, because having a community, finding others, like you and relating, but then also finding resources and education and learning more about it is such a big difference. So I do a lot of volunteering with the foundation, and then a lot of things like what we're working on this month, with November being Epilepsy Awareness Month, to be an advocate and to share so other people can learn just like I did.
Yeah, so what's happening on NMU's campus for November?
Yeah, so we've got a couple things going on. So we are having a Purple Out for Epilepsy Awareness hockey game at Northern Michigan University on Saturday, November 11th. And then just 2 days later, on the 13th, we're having a in-person seizure safe training also on campus. And this is 2 hours. You can learn, you can receive a certification for it, and it's free. You can show up the day of, and it's a great opportunity to learn a little bit more about what epilepsy is, define different types of seizures, and then know what to do if someone were to have a seizure. But then, if people aren't able to maybe make it in person or make it that day, there are some seizure safe training options available online. Again, free, and they're available online anytime. Anyone can access it. And that's, we're always pushing that through the foundation for anyone to take these, because who doesn't have a couple hours to save a life potentially? Right. But, particularly this month with Epilepsy Awareness Month, really pushing it through campus, especially towards faculty and staff.
Yeah, that is open for faculty and staff, but is that open for anybody? Like, if I were interested, could I just come by that training that Monday as well?
Yeah, of course. It's open to anyone. Just look up for Epilepsy Foundation training. There's a 30-minute and a 90-minute. 90-minute goes a little bit more in depth to it. And then if you want to find out more information, you can go to nmu.edu/ruralhealth/epilepsy.
Awesome. Awesome. Why is this something that you feel is important that people are aware of and know how to deal with it if they came upon it?
Yeah, great question. So epilepsy can affect anyone at any time. And a great quote is, people may ask, well, why should I care about epilepsy or seizures? It doesn't affect me. Well, at one point it didn't affect me either. I've heard so many stories about people walking on the street, walking around campus, conference, whatever, and someone has a seizure and they have no idea what to do. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of, keeping someone safe, potentially saving a life, and also saving money. A lot of times people just call an ambulance because they don't know what to do, right. And that can stick someone with a $700 ambulance bill, which no one really needs. And then also just creating just a calmer, safer environment for when someone wakes up out of a seizure is huge too.
Gotcha. Well, Liz, thank you so much for sharing tonight. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. It means a lot.
Absolutely. Still ahead tonight, that's what Carl says. A mild fall this year, but it's not unprecedented. Carl tells us about the greatest late season warm spell in recent history. And later, some intense competition returns to Marquette Mountain this weekend. How you can watch a ping pong tournament benefiting a local youth organization. But first, here's your Upers United volunteer opportunity of the day. The Jansen House in Marquette is looking for some handy folks to help refurbish a few areas of the house. Volunteers can stop by anytime, Monday through Friday from 10 to 2. This is a more physical and detail-oriented project, so staff would prefer someone with experience. To sign up to be a volunteer or check out other opportunities, head to upersunited.com.
We've got a lot of news coming up. Important information about a drug shortage. Parents are struggling to find an antibody treatment for RSV. Plus, the new numbers from the CDC that emergency room visits among infants are going up. What you need to know. That's tonight.
Shop hundreds of Lazy Boys at Kirkish Furniture in Houghton. Kick back in comfort in an industry-leading recliner. Choose from all fabrics, colors, and sizes with prices starting as low as $4.99, plus free delivery. Shop Kirkish Furniture in Houghton today.
New CBS tonight.
We're going to India.
We are headed to the Amber Palace.
Let's go. Can we go around the elephant? I just couldn't find that spot on my head. Get around them, get around them. Fast. Yes. No.
We very well could be first or we could be dead last.
Don't do it to us. Don't eliminate us. Anything can happen. It's The Amazing Race.
A new Amazing Race tonight at 9:30, 8:30 Central on CBS and streaming on Paramount+.
When it gets colder, it's a good idea to layer up. But you can also surround yourself with an added layer of protection by getting your flu and COVID-19 vaccines. And you can safely get both vaccines at the same time. Talk to your healthcare provider and layer up for some added peace of mind.
Need to get from point A to point B quickly, efficiently, safely? The Marquette County Transit Authority is your ticket to ride. Friendly drivers operate clean, blue and white buses throughout Marquette County 365 days a year. Seniors 60 plus ride free every Wednesday. For information about routes and tickets, click on marktran.com. We keep you moving. Marquette Transit.
I'm Lily Simmons. Watch my reports from Escanaba and Delta County only on WZMQ 19 News.
Pictionary here on WZMQ TV 19.
Carl Bonak is here to give us some perspective on the mild fall we've been having and also tell us about the greatest late season warm spells.
That's right, Sarah. We've had some cool, cloudy weather lately, but overall, it's been a much warmer than average fall.
This month started with a surge of summer. High temperatures hit the 80s the first 3 days of October, including a record-tying October high of 87 on the 2nd. The first 3 nights had summertime lows in the 60s, while there were standalone record highs on the 3rd and 4th. The first 4 days came in over 20 degrees above average. While it's cooled since then, the mean temperature still stands at about 3 degrees above normal. Record highs in the 70s and 80s to start October is noteworthy, but when temperatures like this occur late in the month, it's historic. For instance, the U.S. Weather Bureau observer in Marquette gushed over a record warm October in 1963. October's record-shattering warmth is unprecedented, the warmest in the past 88 years, with an average temperature 2.4 degrees higher than that of any other October on record, and warmer than 70% of the Septembers since 1875. The month had 6 days with highs in the 80s in the city of Marquette, including the latest 80-degree temperature on October 23rd. The month ended 10.8 degrees above average. In October 1989, it seemed like winter had started with 5 days of measurable snow during mid-month. Suddenly, the pattern shifted with 4 days in the 70s starting on October 25th, including a high of 76 at the National Weather Service on the 27th, the warmest temperature so late in the season.
So as Air just showed us, it doesn't look like there's going to be any late great warm spells to close out this October.
No, in fact, as Ariane said, it looks like we'll finally get our first snow early next week, especially in the northern UP, in the west-northwest wind snow belts. That's where there could even be some accumulation.
Just in time for Halloween, of course. Thank you very much, Carl. Downtown Iron Mountain expects this weekend's second annual pumpkin walk to double in size this year. Around 1,200 kids are expected to haunt the downtown plaza this year as the DDA partners with Marshfield Medical Center Dickinson and First National Bank for a trunk or treat event Saturday. Kids can compete for prizes in a costume contest, and local businesses have their spookiest window displays out for the walk to compete for mini grants based on public vote. The event coordinator says the library will also be participating in bringing back a very popular activity.
Trunk or treat, actually, the Dickinson County Library right across the street is going to host Ghoulie Glow and Golfing. There is still a chance they can sign up for a tea time in advance if you don't want to wait in line, but there is going to be a line entrance as well for people to just go in.
Window contest winners will be decided on Halloween. We'll have more details about the pumpkin walk at WZMQ19.com. A Marquette biking organization is raising money with a little friendly competition. Start the Cycle is hosting the UP Open Invitational Ping Pong Tournament this weekend at Marquette Mountain Resort. The event supports Start the Cycle. It's a program that introduces kids to winter and summer biking. The tournament will feature 5 breweries, 2 dispensaries, and even a live band for the 32 competitors. And all the money raised will also be matched by the mountain's nonprofit JX Gives Back.
That we did this, it went off like gangbusters. It was fun, everybody had a blast, but we didn't raise that much money. We only raised about $1,000 and it wasn't matched by anybody. It's representing the community in a way that has all of the businesses throughout town, 32 different businesses sponsoring each of the players. So there's some camaraderie there, and then there's also some competition.
Registration is already full for the event, but it is open for spectators. It's going to stay cloudy and cool tonight, but will be dry for the most part, and then more rain returns tomorrow.
Someday your son's going to test you. It's going to force you to make a decision.
A man must stand with his people. Now we are not your people.
There is nothing you could do I won't forgive you for.
Yeah, there is.
Yellowstone, Sunday after 60 Minutes on CBS.
Brought to you locally by Erickson Jewelers.
Some seem to think that quality is a thing of the past. At Simple Treasures in Iron Mountain, you'll find they carry respected name brands like Uttermost Home Decor, Carroll Fabrics, and Custom Draperies. And for the perfect gift, they carry Pendleton hats, shirts, and sweaters for men and women, as well as a beautiful assortment of Pendleton blankets. Discover your Simple Treasure today. Visit Simple Treasures of Iron Mountain for home decor, gifts, and draperies, 426 South Stevenson Avenue.
There's nothing like the feeling you get being outdoors. The UP Ice Fishing and Hunting Expo has everything you need to be ready. The expo returns to the UP State Fairgrounds Ruth Butler Building. Inside, discover great sponsors with everything from bait to rods and reels. Mark it down now on your calendar, November 3rd through the 5th at the UP State Fairgrounds. The UP Ice Fishing and Hunting Expo, brought to you by the Daily Press and WZMQ 19 News. For more than 30 years, our community has come through, building affordable homes, making critical repairs, and building ramps for those who need a little help and a little hope. Habitat for Humanity volunteers produce amazing results treasured forever. You could be our next hero. Volunteers are needed to provide affordable housing in Marquette County. Join in, sign up, it's easy. Go to UpersUnited.com or use the QR code shown here. A public service message of Habitat for Humanity and WZMQ TV 19.
Fairly calm out there at the moment. Those temperatures still about 45 to 55 degrees, and we'll see those lows mostly in the 40s this evening. Expect some fog as well. Those rain showers starting later on this evening, most likely though in that Thursday early hours around 4 a.m. and we could see some sprinkles also on our Friday. Taking a look at these temperatures, friends, we are dipping down. We are expecting 30s, maybe 20s on Monday. Winter is very near. Our 7-day outlook for Escanaba, we've got shower chances, possible thunderstorm on Friday, and then looking at the snow showers when they could be coming your way in Esky, probably Monday, maybe even for spooky Halloween.
Thank you very much, Ariane. That does it for us for now. We'll see you back here tonight at 11:10 Central.
Tonight after